You see Hezbollah too? Yeah, that's my that's my guy Hezbollah. Um, Let me get rid of this. Let's go to DraftKings. Let me get rid of this. All right, guys. So, few important things I want to talk about. The first being, I would like some input here. In regards to what exactly you guys want to see from me moving forward in regards to alerts. So I had talked about this last week, and I had mentioned that a lot of these plays that I've been alerting or future alerts are a little bit risky just with how the market's been performing. Just due to the simple fact that a lot of the times we're not seeing technicals play out. So something I may see that looks really good, that looks like a really good opportunity, may not always play out. Now, this is in regards to commons. This is in regards to calls and puts if we're playing options. We're seeing a lot of fake outs. We're seeing a lot of choppy price action, and we have been for a while now. So what would you guys prefer? Would you prefer that I put forth more alerts as I normally would in a healthy market, with just kind of a disclaimer that this may be risky? I try to alert the safest possible things for you guys, but again, like I said, technicals aren't really playing out like they normally would if we saw strength in the market. I feel bad because I want to be alerting things all day, every day, but like I mentioned, I feel a responsibility to kind of ensure that nobody in here gets burned on something I call, and sometimes that's just not going to be the case in the way the market is at the moment. So I would like some feedback, guys. Would you like more alerts, even if they may be a little riskier, or do you like that I'm only maybe alerting 2 to 3 things, 1 to 2 things a day? It will be so. It will definitely be separate alerts. So like I will make an alert that says A plus alert. That's for like high conviction things that I think are things that I think look very, very good. And then there'll be B, C, and I'll probably keep it at that to not overdo it on alerts. And that's probably what I'll end up going with. I like the 1 to 2 options alerts with a quick reason. Example above 90 MA broke high. Yes, Steph. So that's something else I was going to mention too. When I'm alerting things, I want you guys, even if you're not playing things, to see my thesis behind the alerts. So for example, when I alerted PLTR today, I don't know if Duck's in here. I don't see Duck in here. Duck had asked me, okay, why did I alert PLTR when I did? And I loved the fact that he asked me that question. And the reason I alerted PLTR when I did, because I had scanned through the 5, 15, and 30 minute. They all had bearish divergence on the MACD, and on the 5 minute, it had just closed under the 90 MA. And at that time, SPY and IWM were pulling back. So I had alerted PLTR, and to me, it looked very, very good to only see in the next 5-10 minutes or the next 5-minute candle, it broke back above the 90 MA. And right when I alerted it, SPY and IWM reversed. So I immediately was stopped out. And if anybody else grabbed PLTR with me today, you either 1, got stopped out, which I'm hoping you did, or 2, you ended up probably holding it. I'm really hoping nobody held it. But that's kind of where all this is coming from in regards to alerts. I had alerted something today. I thought it looked great. It ended up doing the complete opposite of what I thought, and it always feels bad when I put something out and it either doesn't do what I think it's going to do, or like with PLTR today, it immediately began to run, and I was immediately stopped out. So Yes, Steph, to answer your question, whenever I put alerts out from now on, I'm going to give the quick thesis behind them. So even if you aren't playing them, you can still see what I'm seeing. And that's what I did with PLTR today. Now, it didn't work out, but I still kind of gave a little breakdown of why. DraftKings today was another thing I put out and kind of gave you the reasoning behind taking it when I did. So I definitely agree, Steph, and I'll definitely be doing that moving forward. Could you just post two lists, one more safe, one more risky? Tom, I definitely could do that. The problem is there's not always going to be that many things to necessarily look at or enough material to fill both lists, but I definitely could do that. I like the 1 to 2, keeps me focused on those. I would like some smaller common stocks to review each day. I don't have the budget skill set to play options. Yeah, Hustle, that's another topic that I'm going to cover here in a second about putting commons lists out at the beginning of each day as well. Please alert. I learn very quickly just by watching them play out, even if I'm not in. How about some swing alerts with catalysts? Yeah, I don't want to jump just into stuff like you, so I want to know why. I agree. Thank you. Your Apple call options were great. Mikey, now are you talking in regards to commons for swings, options, both? Because both? Yeah, Mikey, so I'm sure you know what my answer is already going to be in regards to swings. It just has not been a swing market by any means necessary. That's just the simple fact of the matter is it has not been a swing market. I'm a swing trader first, and I've always been a swing trader first. Now, I like to think that I can do pretty much everything when it comes to the market. I can trade in any environment, but the reason, I mean, I've still been putting swing lists out, but as we all know, it just has not been a swing market. But Mikey, yeah, I'll continue to put a swing list out each week. And if you guys follow me on Twitter, I still like to give out a watch list on Twitter just because there's quite a few people that follow me, and I've been putting options watch lists out each night. So if you follow me on Twitter, I do post those every night as well. It's a quick profit-taking market. Yeah, absolutely. And you guys, I've said this so many times, is it's a 30-minute market, and it will continue to be a 30-minute market until we see some continued strength. Now, we had a nice day today, I think. But again, the market is closed Friday, so let's see kind of what happens the next few days. I personally will not be taking any swing positions over the weekend into next week. But there are a lot of charts that are setting up that look very well. Now, again, we saw this 2 weeks ago, the week the CPI data got released, and then what happened? We had 2-3 consecutive green days, and then we got smoked the last 2 days of the week. Those Twitter posts. Yeah, thanks, Jinxie. So those Twitter posts are... some of those names are on the watch list that I post in here, but some of those aren't. So I suggest you guys, if anyone plays options, you check those out as well. But yeah, there's going to be changes because I feel bad. It's been tough to alert commons. Everybody knows it hasn't been a swing market. So regardless of how the market is going forward, I every morning will put out some commons and then whatever I'm looking at in regards to options that day as well. Now, I do post that the night before, but I can still post it again in the morning. But like I said, I feel like this Discord was built as a learning environment first and alerts second, but I do understand that you all also signed up for alerts, and with just how choppy the market's been the last few weeks, I feel like I haven't been alerting. Maybe I don't know what the correct word would be. Not enough, but as much as I possibly could be, because I've liked to kind of play it safe, and I feel the responsibility to not put anything out for you guys that may be a little bit risky. But going forward, I think I'll definitely be increasing the alerts. But again, I've said this before, every day I aim for 2-3 solid trades a day. And after I hit those 2 to 3, if I hit my goal for the week, before the end of the week, I like to take it slow. If I nail 2-3 solid trades in a day, I like to take it slow. So I also don't want to overdo it. Do you use TradingView as your scanner, and could you post your scanner settings? Neil, I use Thinkorswim, and I've shared those before, but I can after this I'll look for or go into Thinkorswim and share those for you. I love the PLTR alert today. I lost on it, but it was a great call. I would have loved more of those. Yeah, Jake. I'm definitely going to be pumping out more intraday alerts. Guys, is there anything else that before I review some of the trades today, and touch on another quick thing, is there anything, guys, that you would like to see from me? Anything else? And don't feel like you can't suggest something in chat. I'm always open to suggestions. It can be tough sometimes, guys. As you all know, I basically run this by myself. It's not like a normal Discord where you have 5-10 people that help run it. See you, Steph. No, Jinxie, that's the one thing I don't do is I don't short. There's more opportunity for me playing puts, to be honest. But guys, like I said, if you have any suggestions, just leave them in chat for me. Just more smaller common trades as I don't have a bit budget. Yeah, that's definitely going to be coming. I'm not going to lie, it's been tough. It's been tough on commons lately. It definitely has. So that's kind of why I've catered towards options. But I'll definitely be posting those. Yeah, Mikey. Yep. Yeah, Mikey. Mikey, I don't. How long have you been in here, Mikey? Were you in here over the summer at all? Maybe. About 2 months ago. Yeah, Mikey. So not that long. Yeah. So Mikey, when I'd say end of summer into like September, we were nailing 2-3 small cap runners a day, it seemed like. But again, that's when the market was hot, and I was throwing scalp alerts out left and right, and they were doing very well. And I would love to get back to that when we see if we see continued strength in pennies. So I'll definitely be doing that, Mikey. Yeah, Jinxie, that's a thing. Like, I want to cover everything for you guys because I know there's people in here that everybody's different. Some people play pennies. Some people play mid caps. Some people primarily only play options on large caps. So I want to be able to cover everything. It can be a lot for me. Just like I said, I'm the only one in here. It can be hard sometimes just being the only one, not really having somebody else that posts. But it's definitely something I want to do. But let's get into if anyone has anything else, just leave it in chat. I want to get into a couple of these charts really quick and go over a strategy that we've talked about numerous times and something that works very well. And whether you're playing commons or options. Now, this may be a little bit more of an advanced strategy. So as you get more into options, as you get more into scalping commons, just kind of be aware that this is a little bit more advanced on the advanced side, but something I wanted to cover as it's something I do pretty often. So you guys all know how much I love the 9EMA. I've done 2-3 lessons on it now, whether you're looking for reversals, etc. So a strategy that I implement and that I use often, especially with options, is taking calls or puts on the break of the 9EMA. Now, why do I say that this is more risky? Because there are a lot of times where we can get faked out on the 9, meaning we can close underneath just to bounce back, like right here on DraftKings, as you see. But But something I like to do a lot is I will jump into calls or puts on the break of the 9 with confirmation. I'll jump in right away. Now, I'm being very strict. If we break below that, I most likely will cut the position. If we look at this example on DraftKings, break of the 9, confirmation inside bar. If you jumped in, you made out very well as we reclaimed the 9 and rode the 9 up for a while. Now, if I get in and we ride the 9 EMA up, if I'm taking some calls, most of the time, I'm obviously scaling out, but most of the time I won't completely exit that position until we break the 9. A break on the 9 is kind of the indication for me that, okay, I made my money, I'll exit. If it reclaims the 9, I can always jump back in. I know some people played DraftKings today. I exited DraftKings prematurely. I think I got out. I sold half my position at 8%, and then I had a stop loss at break even. Within the same candle, I got stopped out just for it to bounce back. That is the issue with a hard stop in options is a candle can make you down 20% in a position, and then by the time the candle closes, you could have been up 10% within the same 5-minute candle. Yes, Bergie, that is the problem. I shared a video in videos. Go check that out by Carmine. I've shared videos by him before talking about how he uses a mental stop. I don't really suggest using a mental stop until you're more experienced. Jake and I were talking about this today. Jake, I don't know if you went and watched that video, but Carmine has a lot of good, useful information. And in that video, he talks about how to not place, but how to approach using a stop loss with options. But the strategy, guys, is the break of the 9 EMA in either direction. Again, it happened in PLTR today. I'm going to show that chart after, I don't know what, that's not even a word, after this, and show you how it can be a little risky as I got stopped out right away. But you can see, break on the 9, we wait for confirmation, that's when we jump in. If we end up breaking back below that 9, that's when I would exit the position. As long as it holds the 9, though, make sure we're scaling out on the way up, taking profits. If we break below like we did here, say I was in down here, this is probably where I would have exited. So also use the 15-minute in correlation with the 5, because when something plays out on a higher time frame like we've talked about before, the higher chance of success. You can see here, broke the 945 inside bar. This is the second 15-minute candle at open. We had the opening 15, then the second, well above the 9. Never really break we close below the 9 here, end up bouncing right back, and then ride the 9 pretty much the rest of the day. But always use the 5 and 15 in unison with one another. But yeah, guys, that's a strategy I use quite often, looking for calls or puts. Or you can do it with commons as well. As soon as the 9 EMA is reclaimed, I will jump in a lot of the times, but I'm very, very strict. Like I said, if that breaks, I'm exiting the position because just as well could break down. And I'll show you how that happened on PLTR today and kind of how I got faked out. So what time did I get out of PLTR? I think it was at 11. Let me check my phone really quick. It was yes, I think it was right here. So what happened with PLTR? And how did I get faked out using the 9 EMA strategy? So PLTR was very bearish here, closed under the 9, really bearish candle, and it looked very bearish on the 15 as well. So what did I do? I took some puts. SPY and IWM looked very weak, so in my mind and my thesis behind this trade was, okay, close under 9. I use this strategy a lot, whether I'm taking calls or puts. Close under the 9, looked bearish on all time frames. Bearish MACD convergence, and what happened? Next candle closed above the 9. I immediately was stopped out, just for it to reclaim the 9 here and run pretty much the rest of the day. Good thing I had a stop in place and was stopped out, or I would be bag holding this. That's why I don't really suggest until you get more comfortable, or it's a very key level that's being broken. That's why I suggest using a hard stop. If I didn't have a stop in place here, I would have been screwed. But this is to show you that using this strategy, you can get faked out. And that's what I did. I exited with a small loss, much better than being a bag holder somewhere up here. But I used that 9 EMA strategy where I jump in on confirmation both ways. I'd say 8 times out of 10 it works. Sometimes you get faked out like I did today. But that's why I was using a hard stop in case that happened. So that's something I wanted to cover. Again, a little bit more risky as there was no real key level. I wouldn't consider the 9 EMA a key level. A key level is like a big psychological support level, something like Apple today that was breaking pre-market high. Now, this is why I called Apple today. I was watching this. I saw the flow coming in was about 75% or so bullish. And I saw that we were approaching this level here, guys, was the pre-market high, 172.51. Big time flush until about 11. We reclaim the 9. We start to bounce back, reclaim our moving averages, and then we start to ride the 9 up. I saw, and I had an alert set, I think at like 171.6, 171.5. And then we were approaching pre-market high. I mentioned that I was looking to take calls on this, scalp some calls really quickly, as if we broke that with confirmation, it'd probably run a little bit. But again, this was a key level to break. Key level is pre-market high. We break pre-market high, confirm above, back tested it, unable to confirm that resistance as support, and then we break above. But that's just to show you guys that like with PLTR today, that was not a key level. That was just, okay, I'm using the 9 EMA to gauge an entry. And that's why I was using a stop. It's much different when looking at key levels, or key triggers, should I say. Skunk, are you talking about using the 9 EMA strategy? Do I wait for it to close, or do I wait for the candle just to break? How did you know not to stop? How did you know not to stop when the candle closed under the 9 on Apple? Are you talking in here, Karmic? Oh, because I scalped them up here. I only took 3 contracts and then I was out. It was just a quick scalp. It wasn't something I was willing to hold, especially because it was power hour and we're in the close. I don't hold anything overnight really when it comes to options. So I was just in and out really quick. I sold everything at once. I only bought 3 contracts. No. Nope. I was waiting for the break above and confirmation above the pre-market high. And then I was completely out all at once. I didn't hold anything. I may have if it was a different time in the day. If it wasn't 3 o'clock headed into close, I may have. But with, like I mentioned before, I don't really hold anything overnight. With how the market's been. Skunk, you wait for the close or just cross the 9? I wait for it to close, Skunk. So that's the confirmation for me, waiting for it to close. Because I'm sure it could wick above and then we could wick down through the 9. And that's not confirmation for me. I need to see a close above. But it's a strategy I use often, guys. I wanted to jump in here and say that as well. It's a strategy I do use often, but just know, like I mentioned, it can be a little bit risky. You can get faked out. Yeah. And like I said, I prematurely dumped DraftKings today. I probably could have held on to it a little longer than I did, as when I had dumped it, it didn't break the 9. So I really wasn't following my own rules in regards to that. But I kind of took my 8%, got stopped out just for it to run again. I bought on your green candle and stopped on that one candle. I figured that was the right place to leave. Maybe I shouldn't have gone in, but it went up immediately after I got out. Karmic, are you talking about Apple? This candle here, the close above? No, the one highlighted green, the inside bar. this candle. First time it went green. So, Karmic, the problem with this candle is this level right here was the pre-market high. When you saw this candle close below the pre-market high, that's pretty bearish. Now it did bounce back, but that close and not being able to turn. So right here, this candle, it bounced off, was looking good here, but then the next following candle proceeded to close below it. That was pretty bearish. You would have wanted to see this level hold. You would have wanted to see that pre-market high then turn into support once broken. But I understand where you're coming from. Just something to watch next time. Also, if you haven't watched the breakout lesson I did a lesson on breakouts and confirming resistance areas into support. And you'll find that in the education section if you want to look at that. I really suggest looking at it. I think it'll probably be pretty useful. It's all about playing breakouts. Okay, awesome. But yeah, guys, wanted to hop in here, let you guys know that those are the changes that are going to be coming. You're still going to get the 2 lessons a week. But from now on, after this week, after the holiday, I'll definitely be ramping up the alerts. I know I shouldn't feel bad, but I do. I mean, it's hard. This market's definitely tough, and like I mentioned, I want to protect you guys first, but I think I can do a better job of alerting more things for you guys. I love doing the live trading. I'm going to continue doing that. We can do live trading tomorrow if you guys would like. I can hop in here maybe like 10-20 minutes, maybe a half hour before open, and we can do live trading. Besides reclaiming the 90 MA on the daily, what is the next most important factor for you taking a swing? Earlier you mentioned that you won't be holding over the long weekend, but what does those stocks that are above the 9? So, Gaba, a good example of this is DraftKings. I was looking at this before. Really nice close here. Yeah, so really nice close here on DraftKings above the 9. But Gaba, we looked at this, so here's going to be a really good example. So Gaba, we looked at this in this 3-day stretch. I think on the 8th of December was when I did that live stream, and I think you had asked me about if we were late to the move already. I don't remember if you asked me about, or if you remember asking me, but I had mentioned that I kind of needed more than 2 to 3 days of consecutive green closes to confirm for me. And then what happened, this was the week of the CPI data, and we continued to make new lows here on this. So what exactly do I need to see? Now in a healthy market, if we close above the 9, I would be definitely wanting to jump in on a swing position. So I would like to see how this plays out tomorrow. But again, it's hard to take a swing position when we've only really seen 1 day of green. If you look yesterday, we closed red, pretty neutral candle. But do you kind of understand what I'm saying? Even though we closed over the 9, we closed over the 9 here just to proceed to continue down. Now, I'm using a lot of different factors, using unusual whales, looking to gauge the flow. I can show you guys the flow on DraftKings is incredibly bullish into next year, which is a really good sign. If we look at this, the 21st of January, the flow is very bullish. If we look at the premium, very, very bullish. Bullish heat map, very bullish. So into next year is when you get pretty bullish on DraftKings. But like I said, I need to see more than just one green close on the daily, even though we're above the 9. I will, me personally, I'll be treating DraftKings like I did today. Scalp DraftKings. If we see a really, really strong day tomorrow, maybe I'll hold some overnight into Thursday. But for now, I just feel like it's not safe to start swings. Now, if you want to go real light on a starter, by all means, go for it. I think that's pretty safe. But really going and trying to take a full swing position at the moment, I just don't think that's the smartest move. But again, if you want to take a starter in something that you've wanted to take a starter in, by all means, go for it. But Gaba, I didn't mean to rant there, but it's tough because we saw this 2 weeks ago, and then we fell back under the 9 just to make new lows. So I guess the short answer for that is I'm just treating things as day trades at the moment and would like to see how it plays out tomorrow. But there's nothing wrong with taking small starters, guys. There's a lot of things that are at a discount. But me personally, I won't be taking any swing positions yet. Something. Well, you took them so far. Long term doesn't count as swing. No, Gaba, because I'm going in with the expectation that okay, I can hold. If I need to hold this for 2-3 years, I'll hold it for 2-3 years. When I grabbed SoFi the first time around, I honestly wasn't even looking at it until it started to run pretty good, and that's when I sold some of mine. But no, when I grab something long, it takes me a while to accumulate, and 2, I go in with the expectation and that I'm going to be holding for years if I need to, and won't need that capital. It's different if you go into something and you're swinging something. You don't want to be going in and swinging something and holding it for a year, because that capital will then be tied up for a long time. Something else to talk about really quick, guys, before I hop off. SoFi looks incredible. I will be actively watching this tomorrow to play some options on. Failed to close over the 9 today, but technically this looks really, really good. Got rejected right off our trigger level. This has been rejected twice now off this trigger level. Let me zoom in for you guys. This level here, this 1520 to 1525 is our trigger level to take calls. I have a bunch of friends. I'm not going to name any names because I don't know if they want me sharing this, but I have a bunch of like high profile friends on Twitter that absolutely love SoFi and have been taking positions in SoFi. I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to name any names, but they're all people you would know on Twitter, and they're all starting to scale into SoFi. So take that as you will, but I absolutely love SoFi. If you look at the let's look at the 5-year, you can see triple bottoming here. This chart looks really, really good. We've been through this 2 times now. Bounce off about 14, nice run to 25, bounce off 14, mid-13s, run up to mid-20s, and this looks like we're shaping up again. If you can see the last time we bounced, really nice close the next few weeks, really nice close the next few weeks. Any thoughts on Hive tomorrow? Let me look 1 second. I think it's messing with my mind because with DraftKings and SoFi, it looks super bullish. You have MACD crossing convergence and RSI and it closing on the 90 MA. Now we're saying that those indicators are the one to do the market. Skunk, they're not out of the window, but do you understand kind of my point when I say we saw this? We kind of saw this 2 weeks ago. We saw this 2 weeks ago, and then we broke down. The indicators aren't out the window. I completely get it. I just can't wrap my head around it. Yeah, Skunk, it's hard. Like this market's not easy to trade in. It's not easy to trade in by any means. But a lot of us thought in this 3-day period that it was going to be this was the start of the reversal. And as I've mentioned a few times now, it wasn't. But there's nothing wrong with taking positions, guys. Treating them like, okay, I think we're going to see continuation in DraftKings tomorrow. Okay, I want to take a position in DraftKings tomorrow. If you treat it like a day trade, you're still going to make money. If you see strength all day and you feel like, okay, maybe this is the start of an actual reversal, by all means, start a swing in it. But I'm just not personally sold yet. Like I've said before, I like to side with the air of caution, just because we've been faked out before. I'm not trying to discourage you guys by any means. I'm not trying to scare you guys off from taking swings. I really hope you guys understand though where I am coming from. UK Hive. I was looking at this earlier when you guys were talking about it. Hive looks incredible. Technically, Hive looks incredible. Closed right at the 9. Now you do have some overhead here, starting at about 288 where we bounced today, to 313. You can see. Let me get rid of this. You can see we got rejected right off this level where the start of this overhead resistance is. Rejected off, wicked down. Now, we need to reclaim that level. We need to break through that 288, 289, 290 level, and continue to push towards $3, reclaim that, and kind of break above this volume shelf sitting at about 315, which is also in line with our 200. That would be super, super bullish if we can reclaim $3. MACD looks incredible, nice convergence. RSI beginning to curl on the daily. I think Hive looks great here, but again, all dependent on Bitcoin. Bitcoin had a really nice day. Everything's dependent on Bitcoin when it comes to miners, so you're just going to want to watch those two in unison with one another. But Hive looks great, guys. Skunk, you understand what I'm saying though when it comes to these things that technically look really good. I mentioned before earlier in the stream, it's hard with technicals at the moment. I'm not going to lie. A lot of the time, a lot of these charts aren't technically playing out as they should. This chart to me would be an A+ setup in a healthy market. This looks incredible. The SoFi chart looks incredible. The Hive chart, they look incredible. A lot of these charts look similar and they look very, very good. PLTR looks great. Nice consolidation in here. It failed to break below the $17.81 level, which was a key support. Closed above the 9, has a lot of room up. These charts, they all look really great. If you guys think that we may be starting to reverse, by all means, guys, start swings if you would like. Maybe go in small, start scaling in. Take a smaller starter than normal, because if I could predict the market, we would all be billionaires. And that's not me trying to be rude. It's hard for me to say whether we are reversing or not, whether this is the start of a reversal. But there's absolutely nothing wrong with taking a small starter or slowly scaling into something that you think is going to do well here the next few weeks. But I will say the flow into the second to third week of January on a lot of these names is super, super bullish. So that may be a sign. The flow into the new year, into the second to third week of January is very, very bullish on a lot of these names. DraftKings, SoFi in particular look very, very good. One more question about old ticker, OPFI. At what point would you get interested? Right now, all-time low, new CEO. It didn't follow UPST move. Yeah, that's the issue, and that's kind of concerning. If it's not following UPST and it's kind of separated itself from UPST, similar to when FCell separates itself from IWM, what you would now want to see is, okay, does UPST continue tomorrow? And does this align with UPST's movement? You can see UPST had a nice day. Like you mentioned, OPFI did not. Do these two link up tomorrow? If so, I would like OPFI due to the fact, 1, the price point, and 2, normally it follows UPST, and UPST is very, very, very oversold at the moment. Oh, I 100% get it. It's just frustrating because in a normal market, it should be a good place to buy and hold for a day, but with these breakdowns, it just messes with my mind with the amount of indicators showing bullish signs. Yeah, Skunk. No, I'm totally with you. I totally agree. That's why I mentioned before, it's been hard to alert things just because it's hard to alert anything outside of an intraday alert. It's hard to alert something, okay, I'm going to hold this for a few days. It's tough because every day the market's different. Every conditions change day to day. We see yesterday, what was it? A bull trap or a bear trap into a bounce back into another bear trap. It was yesterday. I did not take a single trade. Yesterday was some of the weirdest price action I've seen in a long time. No triggers were met. It was just it was bear trap into bounce back into what was then another bear trap. So it's been tough, Skunk. I totally agree with you. But I'll say it again, guys, if there's things you like, these charts look great. I may start scaling into SoFi, a swing, just due to the sentiment around it. And if we do start to reverse, I haven't yet, but if there's things you want to start scaling into or take small starters in, by all means, guys. Yes, Skunk. I'm totally with you though. Like I totally agree. But like I said, and I showed the example. We've seen this before. Here, look at this UPST chart. End of November, looked like we were starting to reverse. Nope. Looked like we were starting to reverse the week the CPI data was released. Nope. These charts, a lot of these charts on the daily look similar. End of November, same thing. Oh, nice green pivot with confirmation. Looks like we're going to reverse. Really nice candle until it got rejected at the 9. Same thing the week the CPI inside bar with confirmation, rejection at the 9. All right, let's see what the next day does. Breaks above the 9 with confirmation. Oh, this looks great. And then we flushed. So it's hard, but I'm showing you guys kind of the examples of what I'm talking about and why my thesis still is I don't really know. I don't know because we could be looking to reverse here just to continue to flush through. So I hope you guys understand where I'm coming from. I don't want to keep rambling on about the same thing, but I hope you guys are kind of seeing what I am. The SPY daily chart is disgusting. Yeah, this is gross. I mean, the SPY, the IWM daily, they're gross. I mean, this QQQ, they all look similar. Gap up, gapped. Yep, it's like I said, guys. It's every day is different. Treating each day to day, I think is how you survive at the moment. No trend, no sentiment. Like can't even build a basic thesis on the market. Yeah, Austin. You're spot on. It's tough. It's very tough at the moment. But like if you guys watch that lesson I put out on Sunday, and I think it's very important. And I'm sure you guys don't want to hear this, but if you can survive your first year, learn a shit ton of information, take everything in, start developing a strategy, start developing a plan for yourself. If you can do that within your first year, you're so set up for success. And with how the market's been, this is a great time to learn. So with that, guys, I'm probably going to hop off. I need to export this and upload it. I'm probably going to have to upload it to YouTube. This was almost an hour-long video, so I'm going to do that. But yes, guys, those changes to the Discord, those are all things that I'm going to implement. I'm going to do live trading tomorrow if anybody wants to hop in here. But I hope you guys all have a great night. If you need anything from me, please leave it in chat, and I will get back to you as soon as I see your message. So have a great night, guys. Thank you.